this video because if there is anything more frustrating than trying to put out content, the more frustrating thing is these platforms. If I gotta be honest with y'all, these platforms are the problem for a number of reasons. So let's get into it. Number one, as a content creator, there are a lot of things and it's a lot of red tape that you just have to be aware of when you putting out content. Now, granted, none of my content is like, oh, nudity or anything like that, but these platforms, number one, they love to suppress content. They love to suppress viewership, and I don't understand that because people have already decided that they want to see the content, so why are we not showing it to them? That's number one. Number two, it is almost, and this is just for me personally, it is almost infuriating the amount of censorship that happens on the behalf of, oh, this information may not be true. It was checked by a third party fact checker and this is not true. And so when they put that type of stuff on your videos, they also suppress your content for that. And it's like, you can tell when your content is being suppressed. You know the average amount of views that you get when your videos are not being suppressed. And there is a difference and you can clearly see it. And then on top of that, they unfollow people from you. Like, you lose followers in a very weird way that's like, you know, I see this, right? Like, people don't just lose followers. If something happens online, there's controversy, you know what I mean? You was on a podcast, you said something that stirred a lot of people up, and people are like mass unfollowing you, that's one thing. But for you to lose followers like hundreds at a time, slowly, very suspicious. I don't really like the censorship because it's bullshit. I don't know how else to put it. It's bullshit. The second piece of this is that documentaries, okay, cool. But then we have platforms, especially like YouTube, and even other social media platforms, but YouTube specific. You have so many videos of people like how to grow shrooms at home. All their videos are still up. I went to a grow demo the year before last, and it was a live demonstration where it was a very hands-on workshop about growing mushrooms. And the mushrooms that were there were oyster mushrooms. We got to taste them. Like, the mushrooms were still in the cake. We got to pick our own mushrooms. We got to try them. We even had mushroom coffee there. That was really good. We did a lot of combing through as far as like contamination, inoculation, all the steps in the process, all the way down to substrate and grain spawn and everything that was necessary. The entire process from start to finish was very hands-on, whatever. I edited the video was great. YouTube took it down because it said that I was trying to show people how to grow drugs. First of all, an oyster mushroom does not contain psilocybin. That is a functional mushroom. So not only did they take my video down, but they also gave me a strike. You know how many videos it is on YouTube of people growing mushrooms? There's a girl on YouTube who has a video that says how to grow shrooms in your bathroom. She's talking about psychedelics. And yet my educational video was taken down. And it's like, alright. So, hate to pull the race card, but there's no content of black creators on YouTube talking about the shit that I'm talking about, having the experiences that I'm having, being all inclusive of mushroom everything, or bringing any type of knowledge or anything like that to the forefront, for real. But my video, with my small following of 2,600 people, gets taken down. Which means that either somebody is reporting the video or YouTube is also trash. Both of which I believe. So we talked about censorship, we talked about the unfair removal of content, we also talked about the suppression of content. But I also want to talk about circulating misinformation. With a lot of these mushroom brands who are paying for advertisement, and this is what I also don't understand. You have these functional mushroom brands who are paying for advertising on these apps. However, they're trying to sell an experience that is linked with the use of psychedelics but they're talking about functional mushrooms that do not contain any psilocybin. That's misleading as fuck. It's also a part of the problem because you're confusing people. You're not confusing people because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know exactly what you're talking about, and you're using the fact that other people don't know what you're talking about to manipulate their pockets. And so there is a lack of integrity when it comes to these brands, and I genuinely don't like that. Which is also a part of the reason why I put out the content that I do. I would not want to have a brand that's rooted in capitalizing on the ignorance. That's literally what you're doing. Taking advantage of people who don't know, and you also know that they're too lazy to do things like read a label or Google search what kind of mushrooms is in these products that y'all are promoting. And so now you're taking advantage of them, and that's deceitful. My character not set up like that, so I would never fuck with that. I would never do that. And that's also why I be telling y'all, read the label, bro. The most common mushrooms that they put in these products are functional. You can buy them or grow them in your house and chop them up and put them in a salad. The same way that citrus has a lot of health benefits, mushrooms got health benefits too. You're not gonna have an experience. Also too, it's like another small piece of that I don't understand is that like these apps will be like, it's against our community guidelines to promote any substances that are not legal everywhere. Just because it may be legal where you are doesn't mean that it's legal somewhere else in the world that somebody on this app may see. So it's against our community guidelines. And then on Instagram specifically, they directly say psychedelics. They have a community guideline against holistic medicines, medicinal medicines, and it bluntly says psychedelics. Like, what do you have against holistic medicine? What do you have against that? That it goes against big pharma? Fuck them. Fuck them. Not even being funny. The additional piece of that subsection is that people need to understand that just because somebody is talking about something does not mean that they're promoting it. You can go to a car dealership and you're not going to accuse a car dealership of promoting drag racing or speeding because they sell cars. You're not going to accuse a grocery store of promoting obesity because they sell lard or bacon or chips or cookies or candy. You're not going to accuse any candy brand of promoting poor dental hygiene and cavities because they shit could cause that due to an overconsumption. You know what I'm saying? It's like just because a person talks about something doesn't mean that they're promoting it. I talk about mushrooms all the time because of a few reasons. Sake of harm reduction, the fact that I'm sharing my own personal journey, and to create community. There are a lot of conversations about mushrooms that are just taboo, and I don't think they should be. There are a lot of experiences that a lot of people have had, and they don't know that a community exists for it. So why not create it? Why not start the conversation? Just because somebody talks about something don't mean they promote it. Oh my God, I had the time of my life at a festival, right? But people also don't tell you at a festival, they don't have no real showers out there. If you go into the festivals that's like a week long, you finna be somewhere outside, hopefully in a tent, and a bottle of water and baby wipes is finna be your best friend when it comes to cleaning yourself. They leave all that stuff out, but they just talk about, oh, the lights, the music. I met so many cool people. There has to be a line. At least, well, there is a line for me. Like, I'm not promoting anybody to do anything. All the experiences that I've had with psychedelics have been mine. People have done things in their lives and they tell their stories, and that doesn't mean that they're promoting. However, no matter what the story is, listen to it, learn from it, take what you need out of it, and call it a day. People try to make it more than what it is, and I don't like that. Oh, you're promoting it. Okay, then don't be so easily influenced. Do the research. See if what I'm talking about is real. And if you can't find no research on it, which, I don't know, there aren't many people who do what I do, but ask around. There's only 6 degrees of separation. Ask around. It's, at some point,